Um, anyway, so it's crazy that they don't want to like do their job over insurance or whatever, whatnot. And a baby girl lost her life over this shit because she had cancer. Her mom asked for help, and they didn't want to help her. So they took hours and hours, and after a few hours, they chose to help her. Now, when they had her in the hospital, it was like, too late. Her like kidney is already filled and all that. She was already dead. It was crazy. It was crazy as ever. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, good Lord. Damn. Like, goddamn. Like, shit. Like, come on, man. An infant. Are you serious? Like, oh my goodness. Crazy shit. Anyway. So, this man was up there, like, you know what I'm saying? Up there stuck in this woman. He had some, like, construction, like, gear on or whatever, around him. And she was, like, talking to the law enforcement, like, trying to see what they was going to do because he was stuck in her. He was stuck in her too much or whatever went on. For real though. And, like, they didn't even want to do nothing. She had all the evidence, had the man on camera, had a lot of pictures, you know what I'm saying? For real though. And they still didn't want to do nothing. So she went to go get a blink or whatever went on. But she didn't have no, like, bullets up in her though. For real though. So when he came, she, pointed it at him and told him to leave, get off her property or whatever. He left. Around him. Anyway, I think this dude had like blink too around him because like yeah, shoot, that's crazy. That was crazy as ever around him. But when he got spotted and she out there put that blink on him, shoot, he already done been backed off real quick around him. But then they charged her. They charged her for possession of the firearm. And this was here in Arizona. For real. And like, she had to do 21 years for that. Or whatever. That's crazy. And she still had to go to like, you know what I'm saying, court and all that. For real. Because she said the processing wasn't done. Or whatever. For real. That's some crazy stuff. Anyway, so I'm just up there just like, wondering or whatever, whatnot. For real though. And like, I'm just up there just like thinking like, dang, that's messed up. For real though. Anyway, so I remember when like this cop tried to accuse this woman of giving like, some drugs to her son in a coffee cup. I mean, like, he had this coffee in a coffee cup, and he left it up in his mom's ride, and she just gave it to him. That's about it. No drugs, no nothing. No narcotic at all. For real though. I'm like, that, like, I don't know. That was kind of stupid, but they gotta do for real though. Anyway, so this other cop, like, trying to accuse a lady for, like, driving and holding her phone up in her right hand. The lady, didn't have no right hand. For real though. I mean, like, shoot. She didn't have no right hand at all. For real though. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, are you serious? Like, Brody, she disabled. She don't even have a hand. It's like she had her hand amputated, bro. Like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's some crazy stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what was going on during his head or whatever. I mean, like, if he would actually just look in the court and he would have saw that she didn't have no right hand. For real, I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, dang. That's crazy as ever. Real though. Anyway, so I'm just up there just like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, like, you know what I mean? It's like watching all these other like videos and stuff like that, like how these like, you know, individuals didn't want to heed no warning and end up like, dying from it or whatever when I for real though. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. For real though. Anyway, so yeah, these like, two like, um white individuals try to mess with this like, black dude, right? And they was trying to jump him or whatever. So he defended himself. For real though. He defended himself. And like they was like they looking at him like he's in the wrong. How you gonna be in the wrong for defending yourself? Like really though. Like really? For real though. They was trying to, I think they was trying to put his life in danger or whatever. So he just like, just like, offended himself or whatever. For real though. And now they like, up there like putting in place the charge on them or whatever whatnot. For like, defending himself or whatever. For real though. And that's crazy. For real, because this like, dude and his brother was trying to jump him. Was trying to jump this black dude or whatever. For real though. So he had to defend himself and whatsoever. Because like, nah, shoot, like, some crazy stuff would have went down. For real though. So he had to protect himself at all costs. So I understand why he had to protect himself or whatever. For real though. Anyway, so I mean, like, so because like that's crazy. That's crazy as ever. Know what I'm saying? For real though. I mean, like, so because like a lot of stuff be happening to people. They be getting snatched up off the street or whatever, whatnot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they find their body, like, you know what I'm saying, up in a tree or like, hung from a tree or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For real. Anyway, this like, woman went like, with her boyfriend to like, I think some like, state or whatever, whatnot. For real though. That was on a vacation, right? And like after he proposed to her or whatever, like she was found dead or whatever, whatnot. And that stuff crazy. I have no idea what, nigga. They said he was gonna kill her or whatever, whatnot. And this dude was like that one of those puppet supporters or whatever, whatnot. For real though. And like that was crazy. That was crazy as ever. Nobody don't know what happened or whatever, whatnot. She just ended up like, meeting her final demise whatsoever or whatever, whatnot. You know what I mean? For real though. Anyway, that stuff was crazy. That was crazy as ever. Yeah, I'm like, shoot. I hope they do find out the truth or whatever about what happened, because like that stuff is crazy as ever. I mean like how they go like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. They like on a vacation, oh my goodness. Shorty just like end up like, dying. Like, oh my goodness, that's some crazy, that's some horrible stuff. That's horrible. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm up there just like, man, like, dang. That's why I said, like, people should be careful about who they get with or whatever, whatnot. Because just like I said, like, you know what I'm saying, gotta watch your surroundings or whatever, whatnot. Because, like, I already said this on my other channel. Like, it's just gonna be that one person that wanna get you along, and once they get you along, then they gonna make their move or whatever, whatnot. I mean, like, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy as ever. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess the dude was her ops. And she didn't even realize it until it was too late. But, Oh my goodness, that was crazy as ever. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the bell and notification so you can see my last upload and my last post. And I make sure I make a little more tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like it. So long, farewell, goodbye.